So Cosmos, a new mold, and it's an exclusive. Now I'm okay with redeco exclusives, but new mold ones are annoying. Cosmos here is also short packed, which is fun. That's, by the way, is Walmart's decision to my knowledge, because they're the ones who put the order in for these, so they decide how many they want to order. And it's probably like we want to order this many because that'll entice people to come in the store and hunt for it, causing them to buy more stuff. It's a whole sales thing. But enough about the exclusivity. Is this worth tracking down? It's a fine figure, but it doesn't really do anything spectacular. He looks good. Color matching on the yellow it's very difficult to do, but they did an okay job. It's definitely not as bad in person as cameras make it seem, even my camera. I love the head sculpt with his little mask of time there. Seriously, I can't unsee that as soon as someone pointed it out on Twitter. The proportions are very Cosmos-y, so he nailed that. Not the biggest fan of the back with all its sticky outy bits, but it's not terrible. I do really like the amount of paint on this guy. The torso paint is pretty sharp. There's all that arm paint. The head is painted. The feet have some paint to like break up the green color with the two shades. It just works. Don't know why the hand cannons aren't blast effect compatible. It seems like that's a bit of a missed opportunity to fit that in. It would have been nice. Even making the boosters as well in the alt mode. He does look really good with the rest of the deluxe size mini bots we've gotten so far, so I'm happy with how that turned out. But he seems like he's a lot less detailed in comparison to the rest, which is a bit of a shame. Like, he has the detail, but it's that yellowy plastic on the legs that makes a lot of it get lost, especially in certain lighting conditions because the light passes through it and you just don't see it. He comes with a pistol and it looks very generic Transformer-y pistol, but you also get something really funny. So to fit this guy into the whole Velocitron Raceway theme, they gave him the finishing flag, where you can flip it around and he can surrender. But I like how he comes with a flag. Now I'll wait for Toy Hacks to make stickers to give him new flags like country flags. I can see pirate flags, pride flags, Hogwarts house flags. Like, the possibilities are endless there. So I'm looking forward to seeing all the different flag stickers that come out. Mine, though, the reason why I'm not super enamored with it is because mine has some QC problems that plague the posing. Let me show you. So he's fine when it comes to his articulation. He has like your standard sort of joints mostly, but there are a couple of issues with mine. So you got your standard ball jointed head, which I'm very glad that it's sunk in to the neck because you can actually like look up and down. This actually looks a little too dark. Let's brighten that up a bit. There we go. He can look up and down like that. This, however, the plate, it's on shifts all the time, and that's a little annoying to me. The shoulders can rotate. They can go in and out, which is, you know, good. You got an elbow joint, which is a little too close to the shoulder piece, because when you rotate the bicep swivel here, you are going to scratch that paint. So I recommend rotating the bicep first and then bending the arm up to where you want it to go. That way you're not scratching this yellow off, because I feel like that's going to peel off over time if you do that. There's no wrist swivels, which is a little bit of a missed opportunity, I think. Now, the big QC issue with mine is this shoulder. It's extremely loose. It doesn't hold itself up. If I give it a shake, it falls over. And if I put the gun in his hand, let's just take the flag off. If I put the gun in his hand, and that's it, it's gone. You can get it into a pose, but like if you want him to do a pose looking that way with the gun, it's not gonna work. It's just, I can fix it, but I shouldn't have to, and it's really annoying to me. He does have a waist joint. Hips can go forward and back and in and out. These skirt pieces move out of the way. Thigh rotation. Now this thigh was extremely tight out of the box. I had to actually like sand down the peg a little bit. Ooh, I just kicked the camera. I had to sand down the peg a little bit to actually get it to work, so that was annoying. He does have a knee bend with a little bit of detail in the knee, which is nice. And then you have ankle pivot. Again, no forward and back. Come on, Hasbro, please. Put forward and back in your damn toys. Robot mode, though, is not bad. It's not perfect, but it's by no means terrible. I still quite like it. Like, he's been on my desk for a while now. He's still fun to fiddle with and look at. Transformation is very interesting. As the rumors stated, he was going to be a warpath, like shared engineering, and it's not that at all. So let's have a look. So the transformation is actually pretty straightforward. There's nothing really outlandish that it does, which is kind of unfortunate. I was really hoping for something unique like Warpath, but we didn't get that. To start with, you fold the hands in like that. You detach all the shoulder stuff here.
and then just bring this out. Just kind of leave it there. Rotate the head in. Now this plate right here, when I go back into robot mode, right, it starts to split in half right there, which is really annoying and slightly scary. So I don't transform this very often because I don't want that to break. You clip the feet together, you bring this section around like that, and fold that down, and then it'll unpeg, and then you peg it back together. Come on, there we go. Then you want to split the crotch here in half, like that. What I do like in the design is that this is on a pin, so that when you tab it back in, it has a chance to fold out ever so slightly to allow that tab to go into place. So I really like that. And to untab it, I find it very easy just to pull on the crotch section to pull the ass out, basically. Then you want to just bring this around, rotate this 180 degrees. Make sure it's all lined up. Bring this section up, and then just sort of push in, and that will fall off. And so you have to put it back on. Oh my God. Push this section, there we go, into place. Fold that down, bring the shoulders up, and tab them in. Now, you don't want English. When going back into robot mode, the instructions say pull the arms out like this, right? But when you do that, you put stress on this little bit here, this pin, and on my copy, it's sticking out ever so slightly. I don't know how well you can see that. It's sticking out a little bit. And so this doesn't sit as flush as I would want it to, which is, it's a tiny little gap, but it's infuriating to me because it's damaged out of the box. So that's fun. But there you have his weird looking trash can satellite mode thingy. That panel folded down. This really needs to tab in.
Alt mode is a tiny little bubble UFO, and it looks like a trash can on a donut. I can see why my mom thought that. Nah, I like it. I like it a lot. It's a cool looking alt mode, and now I've found all that sculpted detail. It's here in the alt mode. I also like the dark green stripe, adding some variety to the color. It's a really nice contrast between the lighter gray and dark gray. I just wish it continued onto the back, you know, complete that circle. The stand port, though, is on the back. Why isn't there one also underneath the alt mode? That would have been so perfect. Also, on a side note, it would have been funny if this came out in the wintertime, because then I could do like a hockey gag, because he looks like a hockey puck. He can poof, but it's a bit of a hassle to get him to do so, like I showed earlier with the head thing already splitting on mine, so I don't do it very often. I don't transform this very often because of that. The alt mode is small, but it's very self-contained. I quite like just picking it up and like flipping it around in my hands. It's just fun. It's a fine figure, but is it worth all the hassle tracking it down and trying to find aftermarket prices that are worth it? Yes and no. I mean, yes, because it's an exclusive, so if you want one later, it's going to be a lot harder to get, so grab it now. But no, because I don't feel like it's 100% worth it to me. Takara hasn't released theirs yet, so there's probably going to be more stock going around. If you really want one or having trouble, you can check places like Hobby Link, Bai, Hobby Genki, or any other Japanese retailer that carries them. Not sponsored, by the way. But there are going to be ways to get them still. And all of this stock hasn't been put on Walmart shelves yet. They get these things to them in batches. At least that's how my store used to work when I used to work retail. So things come in batches like this. There will probably be more that'll make their ways onto the shelves. People returning them. You'll probably find non-scalper ones on eBay too if you look hard enough, but it's still going to be a little difficult. I do recommend it, but only for retail price at most. Those scalpers are nuts, and y'all got to stop with that, man. Nobody likes you if you do that. But that's my look at Transformers Velocitron Deluxe Class Cosmos. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.